Hello. All right. Hi, you guys. How's everybody doing? Who is joining me at this time? It's a little later than usual, but it's for a good cause. It really is. Um, Today we are reading from Iyanla Vanzant's book, One Day My Soul Just Opened Up, and we're continuing on through. Today is day 10, and we're talking about acceptance tonight, and that's what we're going to be reading. And this lesson, hi Lisa H., this lesson really, really hits home for me. And it became part of my coaching program, this particular word, because it was really what taught me how to let go of the relationship that I had been in. And yeah, so this tonight really hits home. I'm trying to figure out this stand though, because I'm trying to figure out the distance. I got these glasses, got the bifocals, but I realize that's if the book is up here, but it's over here, so I don't have to hold my neck down. So I guess I still have to tilt my glasses when I read. I don't know. I don't know. That's just what's going on. Lisa H., how was your day? Did you have a good day today? Did you have a good day? That tea is really good. It's green tea with apple cider vinegar. So that's a real treat for me. Um, what else? So I learned a big lesson tonight because I was tired, and Lisa Smiles, who is the natural hair care specialist on YouTube, I had a good day. How was yours? It was full. It was full right up until this very moment. So we're still going, but it was a blessing. My daughter Bren had her Nutcracker auditions, and I think they're going to turn out okay. I was able to sell something for the marketplace to raise money for her ballet, so that was good. Had a coaching call, and that was good. Cleaned my room a little bit, so that was good. So there was a lot going on, Lisa. A lot going on with that. But I was saying how on Lisa Smiles' live tonight, she was sharing and sharing, and it was getting later and later. So it was around 10:30, and I had said, well, I'm going to go live at 10:30. Just keep going because you're in the flow. And I realized I was not accepting what was happening on her channel, and I stay tuned, and I'm just coming on. And I'm so glad I did, because I got to witness the birth of something that was so beautiful. Hi, Lisa. Your ears must have been ringing because I'm talking about you. But like I said, I wanted to, I really just got going, and I was saying how I wanted to get on here by 10:30. And even though, Lisa Smiles her live was still going, and she's the natural hair care specialist. And God told me as soon as I sent the message, he's like, oh no, 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 no. And I'm so glad I had to listen to that, because tonight we're talking about acceptance, and I had to accept the fact that even though I was tired, I had to wait until she finished. And this is the reason. If I was so anxious to do what I wanted to do and not listen to the voice of the Lord, I would have missed out on the birth of something beautiful, on two grandma's birthdays, and I watched this whole thing unfold right before my very eyes. And one of the persons on her live was very instrumental in bringing all this stuff out of Lisa Smiles. And that's why we have to listen to that still small voice, even though I wanted to get on here, get this reading, and go to bed. No, because it's not about me. It's about what God wants to teach me and how he wants to grow me. And I was able to witness something very beautiful. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that because people on the live were moving Lisa Smiles towards her purpose and giving her ideas and encouragement and enriching her life. And if I just wanted my agenda, then I could have disrupted that process. Now, God always has a way to get done what He wants done if it's His will and His time. But I'm just saying how I had to be patient and to accept that I was going to go live regardless, but it was going to have to wait. And I'm very glad that I did. Hi, Acacia. And it was beautiful, like the birth of this thing, July 23rd, 2022. So I'll let her announce it, on her channel and all that. But it was a really good lesson for me and very touching moment. And I was telling her to go ahead and cry, but I was the one probably wanting to do that. So that was very good. That was very good. That was very good. So, um, yeah, I had a coaching call tonight too. And when I got off of that, I went on Lisa and she was still going. But I learned a lot on that call too. And I think sometimes God calls us to things so He can keep growing us and teaching us through other people. He's always wanting to do that. So I just drink my tea. As you notice, I still have this blue on because I can't really get it off. Blessing, you know, ordered some nail things that'll go over here. But now I recognize too, like that's why you just run to the nail place because you don't want to bother taking this stuff off. So then you get it done again, and then you're just trapped in this gel manicure nightmare. So, anyways, that's what that's about. So, with that said, we're going to read tonight about acceptance, and I learned a big lesson tonight, and I'm so thankful. And this word was so instrumental in me moving forward with my divorce process. And I don't take that word lightly. I really don't. So if someone is in that position under the sound of my voice, you have to go to God, you have to pray, and you have to ask Him what to do, how to move, when to do what, and really be sensitive to that. And I had to study the scriptures, and it was a whole long process, but this word helped me move through that process. And I have a lot of things highlighted here. And if I'm led, if I can read them because they were in pencil, I'll share it with you. So with that said, we're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. And in this section, there is a journal question. So I'll read those as they were written back then. And then the affirmations. And, we might just say them out loud again today. And hopefully I'll have the right speed. Last night, I don't know, I was going too fast, too slow. And then I start giggling and it was a lot happening. And then there's the let me remember section. And then there's more journal questions. So just try to wind down from the night. I know everybody's had a nice, busy, long day. And Little Raggedy had to go. So if you want to know what I'm talking about, you're going to have to go on Lisa Smiles Live. But I'm thankful for that too. And listening to that story, just reminds me of how we're growing because we're catching things and we're not putting up with putting up with anything anymore. Yeah. So how many of us had little raggities in our life, but we didn't do anything about it. We just let them come on through. But so that was a beautiful thing to hear tonight. If there's people in your life that you need to let go, and you need to let go, but you're not letting go, maybe today's the day. Today's the day. And it might be a little painful for you if it's someone that you've been attached to for a while. But God will help you through it. He will, as you can heal. You really can. Okay, day 6. I don't know what's up. These bifocals, I still have to do this, so whatever. Day 10, honor yourself with acceptance. The working definition. The principle we are working with today is acceptance. It is receiving without criticism or judgment, to embrace the fullness of a situation or experience, an inner realization that all is well, regardless of the outward expression. All is well. Commentary on acceptance. I knew my husband was sleeping around, but I would not accept it. To accept it meant I would have to do something about it, and I did not know what to do. I had no job, and no money, so I could not leave him. I had 3 children who adored their father, and I would not deny them the pleasure of his company. Okay, let's get the highlighter so when I look away, I know where I am. On top of it all, I had a rip roaring, oh my God, inferiority complex. And I was not going to, all right, you guys, I'm tired. Now, let me start that sentence over because I'm getting myself all twisted up with the lines on the page, but we're going to read this. We're going to just take our time. So just wind down, settle down, and just learn. Just learn. Thank you. Yes, I got this. So just learn because I know this is a good lesson and it blessed me so long ago. On top of it all, I had a rip roaring inferiority complex, and I was not okay. And I was not going to give my man up to another woman. Now that's important. Maybe that's important. We don't want to let go of these little raggities because we don't want someone else to have them. We should be trying to spare the other person from them. Oh my God. Lord Jesus. Although I felt unworthy, unattractive, and undesirable, I would not accept that my 7-year marriage could be brought to an abrupt halt by the mere presence of a woman. I would hunt her down and KILL her. And that would be the end of it. My God. Thank you, Acacia. I can do this. Now, oh, she was ready to take the other lady out. And I'm sure we've all felt like that. I told that story about that named Shelby a couple nights ago, and it gets your heart racing. Even though you know the person's not good for you, you don't want anybody else to have them. My God. You do not have to like what is going on in your life, but you must accept that whatever it is going on. As long as you do not accept reality, you are powerless to define the role you will play. Failure to accept reality is a denial of your power to make a conscious choice. Listen, this is good. This is good. If you're not in reality about the situation you're in, you cannot make a good decision because your decision is not based on what's actually happening because you've got this fantasy, this scenario you've set up in your head about what's going on in your life. You've got to wake up and you've got to just accept the truth of what is going on with you. You have to, because if you don't, then you're going to always stay stuck because you're fantasizing and you're role playing all this what it could be if they did this or if they did that, and that's it's a trap. You know, the enemy wants to keep us in this la la fantasy land, and all around us havoc is running loose and we're miserable. We've got to accept what's going on in our lives, in our homes, and in the people that we're dealing with, in the relationships that we have. When you do not choose, you live by default. You are a victim of circumstances. This probably sounds very right and makes a great deal of sense. When, however, you discover that something in your life is not going the way you would like it to go, nothing makes sense. It makes you angry or afraid. When you are angry, nothing makes sense. If you're afraid, it makes even less sense. If you are angry, afraid, and planning murder, you have no sense. And that's what happens when you're not in reality. Then you become angry, you become afraid because you're hoping for something else that's not really what's happening. And you're in a situation where there's pain going on, there's deceit, there's lying, and then you get angrier and angrier. Nothing in your life's making sense. And then that's when you start to do things. Remember this morning, if you watched the video that I did today, I was talking about how you're in a relationship with someone and then you get out of character based on how they're treating you. Your personality starts changing and you start acting different. I remember, no lie, I got so angry at one point. I took a syrup bottle that was full and I chucked it. I did. I chucked it at my ex-husband. Now, that was not nice of me. And it's just totally out of my character, but I was so fed up and just so angry with everything that was going on that I just that's how I responded. And that's no good because then they turn around and be like, "Why are you acting like that?" And you're like, "Well, because you just gaslighted me and now you're sitting here making me look like the crazy one." I mean, it's it's real stuff, you guys. All right. There comes a time in everyone's life when they must accept that nothing makes sense and that they have no sense, but everything will still turn out okay. Acceptance is knowing that no matter what, everything is and will be just fine. Acceptance is simply recognition. When you recognize a thing, you see it for what it is. When you recognize a thing, you see it for what it is. All our experiences, no matter how awful they appear to be, are temporary. Acceptance of an experience as a temporary situation can make it a lot easier to handle. Anything we go through does not last forever. You can go back and do inventory and think about things you were concerned about, worried about, in pain about, hurting about, and here you are today. It's over. It's like a faded memory. So nothing lasts forever. You're going to get through it. It does not mean you will not be temporarily angry, frightened, or senseless. It means you can usually handle something in a calmer manner when you know it is a temporary situation. Acceptance is also an express ticket out of fear and anger. So when you start accepting people for who they are, okay? Because you cannot change anybody. I was it Tony who was saying, if God, the Holy Spirit can't move them, what makes you think you can? All the talking in the world won't do any good unless the Spirit moves a person. All right. Except where am I? It takes you. Acceptance is also an express ticket out of fear and anger. It takes you from where you are to where you want to be without stopping in every little hick town of negative emotion. Now that's good. Now that's good. Accepting a thing does not mean you approve of what is going on. No, no, you're not approving. When you accept a person who's treated you badly, who's hurt you terribly, and you say, I accept them for who they are, you're not excusing behavior. You're not, you're not saying that what they did is okay, but you're saying this is where that person is in their life at this particular time. And you're accepting them right now as they are. You begin to see people as God sees them, healed and whole, even though they're acting up. God sees them healed and whole. And then when you start to look at the person like that and accept where they are in their life on their journey, you're able to let them go. You're able to let them go because now you realize you have no say-so over their life at all. Matter of fact, you get in the way of God's plan for their life, trying to get in there and change them and yelling and screaming at them and carrying on. We have to stop this. We have to just accept. Acceptance means you are able to withdraw the emotional attachment just long enough to really see what is happening. That's real good. That's real good. That's real good. Acceptance means you are able to withdraw the emotional attachment just long enough to really see what's happening. So when you emotionally attach from a person, you're not you're not entwined, you're not when you're caught up in someone, you don't know where you start and they end. It's all just intertwined. That's why it's called, you have attachment issues. But when you begin to emotionally attach from someone and you're not caught up in them, then you can look at them, you can like stand over here and watch yourself looking at them. And then you're like, oh, okay, they're hurting. Oh, so that they're treating me like that because they've got something in their life that they've never dealt with. Oh, okay. And then you become objective. Your hands are, you're like, hey, I have nothing to do with this. Like, and no longer am I going to be trapped and bound inside of your mess. I'm over here watching it. I'm over here, even though I'm here, but I'm looking at it through my eyes over here. So you're not attached anymore. You can begin to detach. You see it, you feel it, and may even know that something must be done. However, it is only from the emotionally detached posture of acceptance that you can make a wise choice. It's the only way. It's the only way. When the woman showed up on my doorstep, okay, now remember, she was married and her husband was cheating, Iyanla Vanzant. When the woman showed up at my doorstep, I was forced to accept reality. Acceptance is a form of initiation. It is a rite of passage. You are passing from the fantasy you have created in your mind for your own protection into the real world of truth and facts. When you undergo the initiation of acceptance, it usually means that something secret and hidden is being revealed to you. You see, when you resist and you don't accept the other person for who they are, you can't heal because a lot of times all that stuff the person is doing to you and saying to you and going on, God really is trying to reveal something to you. So that person actually becomes someone who is going to teach you something. As hard as that is to understand, if you get that the people in your life who have hurt you the most are there because they're master teachers for you. Come on. Come on. I hope you're getting that. It's so good. It's so good. I've got this day 10 all marked up. All right, so the woman showed up. It's a rite of passage. When you undergo the initiation of acceptance, it usually means that something secret and hidden is being revealed to you. It means you are being called to show what you are made of. You are put on notice that the time has come for you to demonstrate what you stand for. Because if you don't stand for anything, you're going to what? Fall for everything. Okay? So when you can accept a person and look at them for who they are, you're able to not be um, so timid and so afraid. You know, it's an act of courage. Okay, there it goes. It's an act of courage. Acceptance is the courageous act of doing what you know you must do before you are forced to do it. I asked the woman to come in. Now, come on. She asked the woman who was cheating on her husband, who was cheating with her husband, to come in. That's good. Acceptance is the courageous act of doing what you know you must do before you are forced to do it. Acceptance is the essence of respect for oneself and others. When you accept the reality of your life, thereby demonstrating your willingness to make a conscious choice, you honor the wisdom, strength, and tenacity of the divine spirit within you. When you accept the reality of the choices others have made, realizing, although you may not like what is going on, that you have the strength and the courage to live through it, you honor the right of others to choose without blaming them for your wounds. Oh my God. Now, you really have to listen with the spirit, okay? You do. I have to read that again because it's so good. I hope you're just in a quiet place and you're just listening to the sound of my voice and you're getting this. You accept the reality of the choices others have made, realizing, although you may not like what is going on, that you have the strength and the courage to live through it. You honor the right of others to choose without blaming them for your wounds. Because if we get out of reality or if we get out of the fantasy and come into reality, we won't continue to what is it, self-inflict? What am I trying to say? Um, hurt ourselves. Hurt ourselves. The more you're not in reality, you just keep hurting yourself over and over because the person is not going to change. Her husband was not going to stop cheating no matter how many fantasies she put in her mind about what was going on. So she stayed in pain. But when she got into reality about the situation and she said to the woman, I asked the woman to come in, then she could deal with what she was feeling. You can start to deal with what's going on and you stop blaming everybody else for the pain. So she was always probably blaming her husband. If my husband wasn't cheating on me, I'd be happy. If this person wasn't doing this, then I'd be better. No, 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 no. You accept them for who they are and you get real with what's going on and then you deal with how you feel about the reality you just accepted. Yeah, Lisa, be real with yourself. You have to. You don't like ants at your picnic, but you do not turn the entire park over to them, do you? You accept that the ants have just as much right to be in the park as you do, and you take the necessary precautions to keep them out of your potato salad. Acceptance is like knowing there will be ants at the picnic. It is acknowledgement that there are needs and circumstances other than your own. By making this acknowledgement, you are empowered to develop a strategy for your protection without stepping on the needs of others. After she demanded that I give my husband a divorce, I told her the only way she could have him was if she also took his dog. Oh, God. Okay, well, I guess, she was like, hey, if you want him, okay, but you gotta get this dog out of here too. I guess Mrs. Van Zant wasn't going to take care of his dog after he left her for another woman. So there you have it. And even in that instance, she spoke up, right? My God, my goodness. By making this acknowledgement, you are empowered to develop a strategy for your protection without stepping on the needs for others. Yeah, when you start waking up and being self-actualized, like oh my God, R.C. Blake's said, I remember I watched the same video, that self-actualization video we had probably 20 times. I really did. I got a whole journal of notes about it. And, it's so true. When you become self-actualized, then you don't have to, um, then you're able to see clearly, to think clearly. You actually know what's going on. So now you can put a plan in place to get the outcome that you really want. You know, you really can. And, on this channel, I help you heal if you're ready. You have to be ready to heal, right? From unhealthy relationships. But I always say it has to be done strategically and safely because, I don't know who you're dealing with. And you really have to be methodical on how you do things. So safety first, safety first. I say that all the time. Safety first. All right. Where are we? Without the emotional charge of anger, fear, and victimization, it is easy to accept the reality of your life. By accepting what is, you become keenly aware of what isn't. Right? So if you're in a bad, unhealthy relationship and you get into reality, then you can say, oh, this relationship isn't safe. This relationship isn't honoring. This relationship isn't helpful. You begin to see everything that it's not, because you're not lying to yourself anymore. And just looking at the one time, the person did one little kind gesture and you blow that thing up, and then you discredit everything else that's going on that's hurting you. When you know what isn't, you can begin to determine what you must do. Acceptance also requires a great deal of trust and even more patience. You must trust yourself enough to know that you will make the right choice. Yeah, you must trust yourself to know you'll make the right choice. A lot of people, and I know for myself, I never trusted myself. I never trusted that I could make a good decision for myself, because for so long, all these men running in my life telling me what to do, how to act, what to say, what to wear. So I couldn't think for myself. Not at all. Not at all. But you have to just there has to come a day where you make up your mind that today I'm going to trust myself. And that's it. It's just kind of like this hardcore decision. Like, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of living this way. I'm sick of my life this way. I'm sick of how this person's treating me. And I'm gonna make some changes here. I accept this little raggedy wasn't it. You did. You had to radically accept that. As much as sometimes we want someone in our life, we want someone to share a day with, we want someone to hold us at night, we want. Well, me wanting all that kept me in a relationship that wasn't good for me longer than I needed to, because I wanted this. Well, what I was really getting was pain and misery and sadness and sorrow. So thank God Lisa Smiles had the wherewithal to notice some things that she was hearing by this little raggedy, and say, oh no, this is not for me. I accept you just the way you are, shade to you, but I'm moving along. I'm moving along, and I do not apologize for it. End of story. Why? Because I love myself. Lisa loves herself, okay? So she's not going to put up with that. She's not. She's not even going to attempt that. Nothing good can come of it except you fall in love with little raggedy, and then now you're stuck in a relationship. Then you have to call me to help you get out of it. Oh my God. To God be the glory. Be patient when you are tempted to lie to yourself and not accept the truth. Be patient when it seems things are not going right and may never be right again. Accept that what is yours will come to you in the right way at just the right moment. Patiently acknowledge and accept that what is not for you is not for you. Not. This is a sign for not for you. No matter what you choose to tell yourself, no, you can tell yourself so many wonderful things about this person, about this relationship, and you might be able to fool some people, but in the end, you really know what's going on. You really know what's going on. And we cannot settle. Tony talks a lot about standards and preferences and things like that. So check out some videos on that. There's just some things we cannot deal with, like just cannot, like smoking cigarettes. And my ex-husband did, and then it was just always a battle. And then he'd say he wasn't, and then he'd be sneaking them. I mean, it was just a battle. But I just couldn't accept the fact that he's a smoker, and I would always make it my problem. His problem became my problem instead of accepting what he did, and then me making a decision that I don't want to be around that anymore. And my girls have asthma. I mean, my God. It was just something else. It was just something else. But I really do. I want the best for him. I really hope that he is doing well, and God is moving in his life. God is moving in his life. Amen. You guys don't know, my divorce was final last February. Last February. All right. Here we go. Where am I? Okay, I'll read this sentence again. Patiently acknowledge and accept that what is not for you is not for you, no matter what you choose to tell yourself. Ants do not get discouraged when they climb onto the picnic table, only to discover that all your goodies are covered with aluminum foil. They crawl back down and patiently wait around the table legs until you drop your plate. When the woman left with the 6 garbage bags full of clothes and the dog, I went out in the backyard and finished hanging the laundry. When there was only one sheet left in the laundry basket, I sat down on the grass and cried. You see, Iyanla Vanzant knew what needed to be done. It did not feel good. It, it didn't feel good, but she knew what she needed to do and she followed through with it. And then after, he left with his 6 garbage bags of clothes and the dog and this woman, then she cried. So sometimes you can't just be, imagine if Iyanla Vanzant was in the house hollering and, oh, don't go. Oh, don't leave. No, no. She had dignity. And that's what you have to do. You have to remember, back straight, shoulders back, chin up, and you look confident. You may not feel it, but you look like you are, right? You're talking strong, you're doing what has to be done. And then after they leave, then you shed a few tears and you cry, like she sat down on the grass and cried. And even in that, we have to be careful. When we're feeling sad, we need to feel that. We need to feel that, but we need to be careful it doesn't go on too long. So sometimes I would have to set a timer, on my kitchen stove or on my phone. Say, okay, Sheena, you can cry and be sad for 20 minutes. And then when that timer goes off, you got to get yourself together, because you don't want to stay there too long. All right. I wrote in the margins of this page, I wrote, my ex is not for me. No matter what you tell yourself, Sheena, accept it. Begin again after every thought like this to choose self-love. So that's what I was feeling in the moment after I read that. Yeah, that's deep. That's deep. Let's see what the journal. Okay, so now we're on the commentary journal. So after reading today's commentary, this is what I realized. Oh, I wrote, my ex, I won't say his name, has the right to live his life any way he wants, and I can't blame him for my wounds. Then I wrote, this is huge in big letters. I can't control, I can't change, I can't manipulate, I can't, and that word I can't read. And then I says, I can't pray away his choice to be a Jerk. That's what I wrote. I can't pray away his choice to be who he is. Like, that's just who he is. Okay. That's just what it is. You can't control things. You can't change things. You cannot manipulate things to get your way. A person is just who they are until God moves in their life. Like Lisa says, the next journal commentary, this is probably cold. The next thing says, the key phrase or phrases I want to remember and work with today are, acceptance is a rite of passage, passing from the fantasy I created in my own mind for my own protection into the real world of truth and facts. I said, acceptance usually means something secret and hidden is being revealed to me. I wanted to remember that acceptance is being put on notice that it's time for me to demonstrate what I stand for and to act courageously. The next thing I said that I wanted to remember was to accept that what is mine, I can't read my writing, accept that what is mine, something will come to me in the right way at the right time. All right? What's for you will come to you in the right way at the right time. Now the next section is the morning affirmation. So that's what I journaled at night. Then I woke up. Okay, let's say our affirmations. I'm just going to talk at a regular voice. All right. I'm not going to try to get the perfect speed. That didn't work last night. The first affirmation is, I accept the presence of divine life expressing itself as me. I accept the presence of divine life expressing itself as me. I accept my right to be alive. I accept my right to know joy. I accept my right to live in peace. I accept my right to know love, give love, and receive love. I accept that when I do not choose joy, peace, and love as the foundation of my life, I am choosing a reality that is not divine. Above all, I choose to accept the will, joy, peace, and love of the divine as the center of my being and the foundation of my life. For this, I am so grateful. And so it is. So it is. And then the next section says, let me remember acceptance is a sign of courage. I want who's in the chat? Lisa and Acacia. I know Lisa H was here. I want you to remember that acceptance empowers you to make a conscious choice. I want you to remember choosing in fear is not acceptance. Choosing in fear, Lisa and Angie and Lisa H, is not acceptance. Acceptance requires that you trust yourself and the divine. Acceptance requires that you be patient with yourself, others, and the process of life. All right? Those are the things you can remember. And oh boy, now there's some journal questions in the evening. And once I read this, then we'll be all set. So the first one says, today I realized that I resist accepting reality when, oh, here we go again. I'm working and the kids are crying and whining, and then I complain. I need to just accept my situation right now. And I think I said a couple nights ago that the crying, back then when I was going through this book must have been just magnified because of what I was going through. And they were just being kids, babies. The next one is today Today I was able to accept that I prayed and left the trip and divorce feeling of the papers to God. Okay, something about divorce papers, you guys. I prayed and left. Oh, I think at that time we had planned a trip beforehand or something, and the money got so messed up. The whole trip, the money, oh my gosh. Before I actually filed, we had planned a trip. I don't remember where now. But all this money was put down on it, and where were we going? I don't even remember, but that money was not there. That money was not there. That money was not there. And I had to go through all kinds of things to deal with that. So, yeah, finances were just left in shambles. Yeah, so that was that. Okay, the next thing, I am now willing to accept that my marriage is over, that I never really had one, that I was used and abused and treated badly. I was not in reality. I lived in a lie for 4 years. It's embarrassing. My life's embarrassing to look back at all the bad decisions I had. Lord, will you use a wretch like me? That's what I wrote. That's what I wrote. That's what I wrote. So I'm hoping that he is using me now on his YouTube, because there's a lot going on this YouTube. There's a lot going on in this YouTube. As far as analytics and knowing how to do this and that. I'm telling you right now, I'm just here reading these tuck-in times, reading the Bible, the New Testament, doing some sharing with Shena when I can, and uploading some videos, and that's it. That's what I'm called to now, and I'll let God move and show me the rest. because it's a whole journey. It really is. So thanks, Lisa. It's it's real, and I don't take people's lives lightly because I understand what it's like to hurt. I really do. And I don't want anybody to hurt. We're gonna hurt, but we don't have to stay there. We can move past it and we can grow. We can. Just keep listening. I know I said the channels that were most influential for me was Lisa A. Romano. She's really big on codependency and coming out of that. And R.C. Blakes and Tony Gaskins. And there's another man. His name is Ross Rosenberg. He was good because he talked about what was his theory? He's about self-love, and he was a big codependent, and I think he was married 2 or 3 times and just kept going back to the same type of thing. So helping break that cycle. And then another good person is oh gosh, I want to say Bill, but that is not his name. It starts with a B. Oh, I can't think of it, you guys, but I will let you know. I will let you know as soon as his name comes to me. Um, uh, I can't think, but he does a lot of brain work. Okay, he does a lot of brain work, and I don't know why Bill keeps coming to my head. I know it starts with a B, but anyways, he does a lot of brain work and helping you understand your brain and how it plays a role in why we stay, you know, in situations that we're in. And I'm sorry that it's not coming to me, but yeah, that channel was good. And um, also, Melanie Tanya Evans was a really good channel. She's big on narcissistic abuse. So she was really helpful. Went through some of her programs and stuff too. So yeah, that's that. That's that acceptance. It's a big one in my coaching program. I believe this is week 9. How to accept, the choices you made and the things you've done, and also accept the people who have hurt you. And if you can get that message, you're well on your way. You're well on your way. You really are. All right. So everybody have a beautiful day tomorrow. It's Sunday. I know here it's been in the 90s a lot. So, I don't know where you are. If it's hot, stay cool. Enjoy your worship time. And Lisa, I'm glad that you found a church. It was nice hearing that little bit of you in the story and all that and the prayer and, how you had to practice praying. And I had a conversation with Brent about this morning because she slept in my room and woke up with me, and she messed with me, and she was watching the hair care videos with me too a little bit. But we were just talking about just having conversations like you and I have. That's what you have to do with God. Just have a conversation and talk. Hi, what are you doing? See, this is her time. These kids. I got to go to bed. She's just going downstairs. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. All right. All right. I'm sleepy. I'm tucking myself in. I hope that you all sleep soundly. Just let the peace of God wash over you. Oh, and another thing I learned too when I was to go to bed at night, if you're having racing thoughts or things happen throughout the day, or you just can't get a thought out of your head, is to make sure you lay straight. Like some people sleep all balled up, but sometimes you just want to lay on your back and let all your limbs be straight so you can let, you know, energy flow through you. So your breathing is really important at night to take deep breaths in through your nose and then blow out everything negative and bad that you experience during the day. So just be mindful, that when you lay down to rest at night, just get a good thought, a good mantra, or a good soothing thought in your head over and over. Or if you're listening to something, just be very careful who you fall asleep to at night. I remember one of my favorites and go-to is Jason Stevenson, and that's who I used for many many nights. But one time I switched and I had nightmares all night long. All night long I woke up and just terrible nightmares. Like I saw demons, I saw all kinds of things, and I realized I wasn't listening to Jason. I tried out some other character, and ugh, don't do that. So just be careful what you listen to at night. All right. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow night for sure. All right. Love you all. Bye.